Today we got a question from a friend of mine, and he will go by the alias of Coach Bob. So instead of regular just Bob for the question, he will go by Coach Bob because he's a gym owner and a jiu-jitsu coach. Coach Bob has a situation where a student is leaving to go to another gym, not under the best conditions. Because people do leave gyms from time to time, that happens, but he's leaving under not the best conditions, and he's going to a gym where the people kind of talk trash about Coach Bob. Now, Coach Bob says that he's been around the block more than once, and what happens is when people go to this particular gym, they have a bad experience because I guess what it is the gym itself has like kind of a really like well-known affiliation or, gym name, but the quality inside the gym is not up to par. So they go to that gym, and then they end up coming right back to him eventually, and then they train with him. Now he's wondering, because of the terms, the way that everything's going down, he's wondering, when this kid eventually wants to come back, do I let him come back, or do I say, you know what, man, no, you stay over there. You did that, and that's what you're going to do. And again, I'm not getting into the details about what happened, but you get the idea. So, brother, thank you for the question. And, when you sent that question, I immediately thought of one of the situations that happened with me as a really young head coach, where basically, to kind of give you the story, a blue belt that was here at the gym years ago, he was like a business owner, business guy, whatever, and he approached me one day when we were doing a private lesson, and he came up to me and said, hey, man, when you get your black belt, because we all kind of knew I was going to get my black belt fairly within the next year, he came up to me and he said, when you get your black belt, what are you going to do? And when he asked that question, I sort of looked around, and I told him, I said, man, I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing. I'm going to keep training, keep coaching, keep training. And then he kind of like leans in a little bit more and starts to kind of get a little bit more quiet, and says, no, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to like train here? Or are you going to go open up your own gym? And for me, like the thought of opening up my own gym by myself just didn't sound like fun. I have business partners that I work with, and I was like, I really like those guys. It's more fun to do it together. And there's a ton of people inside this gym that are already here that I knew wouldn't be able to follow me to the gym that he was wanting to open. So I was like, no. And honestly, to get right down to it, I thought he was just trying to open up a gym because he didn't want to have to drive, right? It was right in his backyard. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So no big deal, no harm, no foul. But 6 months later, one of my brown belts and him ended up opening this gym right out of nowhere. All of a sudden, I think I looked on Facebook and found it out that, boom, there's another gym open, and I see that the brown belt that was training with us is the head coach. And again, I was frustrated by that, and I was hurt and sad because, if maybe they wanted to work out some affiliation thing, we could have done that, but they just opened up a gym without telling anyone, and again, it was a conflict of interest, and we had to sort of say that both of those guys could not train here. Now, fast forward 6 months later, the gym closed down. Because here's what happens. A lot of people think that they want to open up a jiu-jitsu gym or they want to teach full-time, but there's a lot more to it than simply teaching jiu-jitsu, and a lot of people aren't ready for that. Gym closes down. I see that the blue belt went to another gym, started training, and then one day I'm on Facebook and I see that the brown belt, a friend of mine, a guy I like a lot, is training at another gym. And any feelings of irritation or anger or sadness or whatever I had, I instantly just they were dashed, and I sent him a message. And I pulled it up because a lot of you guys, whenever I tell you guys these stories, a lot of you guys try to say that, oh, that never happened before. Chewy's just making stuff up. Man, a lot of you guys, if you were to, instead of focusing on the world around you and everybody else's stuff, if you took that lens and took it back towards yourself, you'd probably find that you guys have a lot of experiences that if you really dive deep into them, were really interesting. But this story, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't, but basically right there, 2012, I sent him a message because this is after the gym closed down. I sent him a message, and I told him, hey bro, I see that you're at another gym right now, and you belong here. This is basically what I said. I was like, everything that happened, screw it, I have no ill feelings towards you, come on back, let's train together. The next day he comes to the gym, and there was an awkwardness between us for about a second. I gave him a bro hug, and I said, man, water under the bridge. And since then, he's been here since 2012, so it's 2019, 7 years. I mean, whatever, you know what I mean? So for that situation, I just said, screw it, Again, people make mistakes, things happen, it is what it is, but my relationship with someone's far more important than that. So when that student comes back, I would say, you know what, man? Come on back, brother. We all make mistakes. Come on back. And I think that that's a better policy than holding a grudge against someone. Another thing, and again, this is for any gym instructor or any gym owner out there or any head coach or anything like that. You guys, know me through the internet, but there's a lot of people in the city who have routinely talked trash about me. Like students have shown me text messages or have told me things. Like there was one time a guy that literally went to every gym around the city just trying the different gyms out because he wanted to see the different programs available, and he stopped at this gym and he told me that the people at these other gyms, a couple of them, were talking trash. Now, not every gym, but some of them. And he told me this, and he has no dog in the fight to tell me that, but he told me. He's been with me for a long time since then, but he told me about the things that were said, and it wasn't the first time I heard it, and it's frustrating. It is frustrating to have people talk shit about you, but it's one of those things where when I was a young coach and I started getting into this stuff, and I realized that there was so much like negative emotions from people that are out there, it gave me a chance to practice the Stoic philosophy that I was always reading about, because I've always been a fan of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, all those guys. And one of the things that they talk about all the time is focus on the things you have control of, and the things you don't, you can't worry about them. And so it gave me a chance to actually put into action what I was reading about all the time. So what I started to do is, when I would have those negative feelings about people talking trash about me or a student leaving under not so favorable terms, instead of getting angry about it, because I can't control what's going on, I would simply take that energy, just like I would take the fear or the nervousness associated with getting ready for an MMA fight to make my training even better. I would take those negative feelings and then dump it into the training and try to give the guys a better experience here inside the gym. So for things like, I would give away free seminars, or I would do special training camps, or whatever it is, just to try to give the gym even more, so that this way I could look at it and be like, you know what, you left? Look what we're doing, or yeah, you're talking shit about me, but here's what we're doing here. So instead of like worrying about everybody else, I was trying to focus on just what we have going on here and focusing on my guys, my team, my school, and all the things that I have control over. So I would suggest any of you guys that are gym owners, if you're in a similar situation where you have people talking trash about you, because it is what it is. In these communities, sometimes people can be very catty. Or if you have situations where students are leaving, instead of focusing on that stuff, just focus on what you have control over and do the best you can with what you have in front of you, rather than focusing your attention elsewhere. So anyway, Coach Bob, thank you for the question, brother. And guys, I'll talk to you next time.